YouTube, this is MTP Flyer. Something a little different here tonight. We are going to fix this horrible looking iPod, which I had nothing to do with. That was like that when I got it. So real quick, headphone jack replacement and lock button switch. They're both together. So first things first, you want to make sure that you turn it off. For obvious reasons, you're going to be moving around trying to get this thing open. You don't want it to turn on. So what do? You turn it off just like you know how to, and then you lock that sucker. So you're all set. Now, what we want to do here is we actually have to separate the glass from the device itself. And luckily, I have a thing called editing because let me tell you, probably about 15, 20 minutes it took me to get this properly removed or seated to remove. So it's certainly not an easy thing to do. And once you actually get it off there, something you need to be extremely careful of. And yeah, right down by my thumb, there is a cable that attaches the battery to the motherboard, I guess, or well, yeah, the motherboard, and which controls everything. So that accidentally slipped out. So I'll show you guys right here. There's actually a brown tab that you actually need to lift up, and that will allow you to pop out the ribbon that takes you to the battery. And once you just simply flip up the hard drive, and you don't need to disconnect that, so that's just going to stay in there. But what we want to take out is the ribbon for the headphone jack and the lock switch. Of course, I don't do a very good job here of showing you exactly how I do that, but there's a little brown flip switch that allows you to remove that and simply slide the ribbon out. So once you're detached from the other side, you can move that off, and really what we want to do here is just to begin to take out the screws. And I'm trying to get a good angle here, but like I said, this was done kind of off the cuff, wanting to do this. But the first thing we want to do is remove the battery, and that's what we're doing right here. And it's very, very sticky, really, really sticky. See, really sticky, almost Velcro-like. So that's the battery, and you're all completely set as far as that goes. Now, the next thing we want to do is take out the switches and the headphone jack. Now, like I said, I didn't do a very good, wasn't really happy with the video that I shot taking out the screws. So in a second here, I'll just kind of give you a quick shot exactly the 4 screws that you do need to take out. Right now, I'm just kind of fidgeting a little bit with the longest screw that's on there. If you see right to the left at the top left corner, there's the one screw that I don't really get a good shot on after that. But I thought this screw didn't come out, and it turns out that it was the last thing holding it in. So once I fiddle with it a little bit, able to take that out there with the magnetic screwdriver provided by iResQ. So here's the 3 black screws and the 1 silver, which the silver is a little longer than those 3 that are used to hold down the headphone jack and the one side. So there's the 2 for the headphone jack. There's the silver one that goes right up top there. And then, of course, the 3rd black one, which is over to the left, which, again, I don't show all that well. You can see it right there, top left corner again. So the next thing we need to do is simply pop out the items here. In this case, the headphone jack and the lock switch, which are connected by the same ribbon. And the lock switch is a little bit forced in there, or a little bit pinched in there. But once you get that out, you simply carefully remove the tape, because we're actually going to use that again in our new one. That's probably one of the only things they didn't give you to do that, but it's really not that big of a deal because you can simply take it out. Now, what we want to do here is put everything back together with the new piece. We have our back, which is completely bare of everything, and we are going to take a quick look at the new one on the left and the old one on the right. I'm sorry, vice versa. And I noticed a couple videos that I watched learning to do this. They didn't include the switch on top on some of that. So just a reminder, if you're going out there looking for one of these, iResQ sells you the whole entire kit and not just part of it. So very, very important. Actually, the easy part of all this is sliding the headphone jack in there and making sure the ribbon is squared up and laying flat for the lock switch, which I did in a previous retake of this. Trying to lay that down, not realizing it. But what we need to do here actually is, no, Michael, that's not right. We need to take that out, put the left side in first, and simply push up and press down on the top there. So we're all set. And really what I want to do is get ready to put the screws back in here. Again, something you don't really need to watch me do. So speed that up and all right, enough of that. I didn't get a good shot of the other one going in. So we're going to put the battery back in. Make sure you put the proper side up so the ribbon is flat down on the metal backing. And there is enough stickiness and adhesive to put that right back in there, as you heard how difficult it was to take out. And the first shot, so once you're in, and we use the old tape to keep the ribbons down. So next thing we want to do is take up the headphone jack and switch back on there and properly seat our battery. Obviously after we put the hard drive down. So the hard drive stays until we slide this in. And what I really should have done here was grab the tool in my hand before I did this, because I take my finger and I get it down enough to secure the wire or the ribbon, but what you really need to do is take one of the tools and simply make sure you press that back down and lock it into place. So it gets locked right there. So put the hard drive in and properly seat it to where it is. As you can see there, the ribbon has a little spot for itself. And again, the next thing, mistake that I make here is, again, not having the tool in my one hand, to simply slide the ribbon down with the left hand and then taking the tool with the right hand. See how unsteady it gets. And then my camera ribbon wants to get in the way, you know, the little thing there to hold it against your wrist. And once I realized, stupid, grab the proper tool, and you can seat it in there as it pops out again and says, "Screw you guys, you're not going in." So simply take the back, pop it down, and then you take the ribbon, push it in, and you slide everything down the once and it's locked in. So we're all set, and I know I was all set because when you turn this on in a moment, it actually worked. Just kidding. It's not really that difficult, guys. I think the hardest part was taking off the face there, and I actually did a little boo-boo up top there. If you can see, it's a little bit bent up from trying to get the battery out, so be careful. So you see it does turn on. The headphone jack worked just fine. I didn't have any non-recorded stuff on there that was non-licensed, so you have to take my word for it. My buddy's happy. It only cost about, I don't know, like 20 or 30 bucks for the part, something like that. Might be a little bit more. But you can go on over to iResQ and check it out. And I want to thank you guys for joining me. Got another special video coming up for the iPhone. What could it be? We'll see. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. See ya!